I want to talk to you today about the features and benefits that are available for the operator through the Advanced Display Monitor for the CAT skid steer and compact track loaders. The Advanced Display Monitor is an integrated, full-color, heads-up LCD monitor which not only displays the rear-view camera image, but also provides machine performance, customization, and security capability. Up to 50 individual operator codes can be entered into the display, which provides the machine security, but along with that capability comes the ability to customize the machine performance parameters, background colors, languages, or gauge layout styles to suit the operator's preference, application needs, or experience level. It also provides a job clock, diagnostics, and maintenance reminders. Let's take a closer look at how you can take advantage of the power that's provided in this display. As we turn the key to the on position, notice the CAT startup and welcome screens. On the main display screen, there's a lot of information for the operator to use. First, you'll notice the number 1. It indicates that the machine is in the ISO control pattern, which is left-hand drive with the left-hand joystick, and right hand to control your implements for raise and lower of the lift arms and tilt and dump functionality on your bucket or attachment. You've got the fuel gauge, the engine coolant temperature, the hydraulic temperature, and the RPM. Also displayed are the hours and the system voltage. If you happen to have a model that requires diesel exhaust fluid, or DEF, there will be a gauge below the fuel gauge to indicate the level. Other heads-up items that may be shown include your creep setting. When the creep activation button is depressed on the joystick, you will note that the upper left corner now shows a snail icon indicating the creeper setting, as well as the parameters that are able to be adjusted in the middle of the screen using the buttons below the arrow indicators. When the creep is turned to the off position, those disappear from the screen. Your adjustments range from 1 to 20. Depressing the button below the camera icon allows the backup camera to be visible at all times. Otherwise, the backup camera becomes visible when the joystick is moved into the reverse direction. When the joystick is moved to a forward or neutral position, the screen will return to the main display. Depressing the button below the gear icon will move you into a settings menu where you can then select any of the sub-menus. First, let's look at the machine settings menu. The machine settings menu allows for adjustments to the parameters that control the machine's response and performance. These would include drive response or sensitivity, implement response or sensitivity, the creeper control setting, and the setting for the ride control activation speed. The steering drift correction adjustment allows the operator to make fine adjustments to help maintain straight line travel to account for things like tire mismatch or drift created during the use of a specific attachment. The speed limit allows you to limit the top speed of the machine using a percentage. If configured with the reversing fan option, it can be configured to automatically activate at certain periods of time. In this case, we have it set to activate every 30 minutes automatically. You can also adjust the length of time that the fan blows in the reverse direction. This is currently set at 8 seconds. If the machine is not equipped with a feature, like the reversing fan as an example, then those selections would appear grayed out. The display setting menu allows for adjustments to parameters that control the preferential settings for the display's appearance. Under units, you can select English or metric. For languages, you have 6 options. You can turn the digital readout on or off depending on whether or not you would like to see actual numbers displayed for the temperatures and other settings on the main display, along with the color-coded gauges. The gauge layout allows for the choice of 4 different configurations of the gauge appearance that you can see displayed. The last gauge selection has a moon icon and can be selected when using the machine at night for snow removal or paving work or indoor applications. Essentially any situation where you'd prefer a bit softer output from the display screen. Also configurable are the background colors, enable backup lines, adjust backup lines, time format selection, set the time, date format selection, set the date, set custom image. This screen allows the owner to upload a custom image that will be used as a splash screen and the image will be visible when the display boots up when the key is turned to the on position. This takes the place of the cat screen that is shown at startup. The job clock menu selection allows you to help track business cost by allowing the operator to track out the time spent on the job, and for machines with electronic engines, also tracks the fuel used. You can start, stop, and reset values, and they are retained across the key cycle. The service menu allows user to access valuable service information about the machine. Diagnostics provides electronic monitoring information for the machine systems and components that can provide helpful information when you are talking to your dealer service technician about troubleshooting the machine. Preventative maintenance shows scheduled maintenance items, intervals, the hours remaining before the next service is due, and in addition to viewing these here, you'll also get pop-up reminders on the main screen for these service items. Status parameters can be helpful if you have an issue with your machine and need to help diagnose it with your service technician. You can provide them some of the basic information here that may allow you to help troubleshoot the machine on the spot. Information provides some of the basic information such as the machine serial number and the software part numbers. The USB software update item should only be used by dealer service technicians. The user management menu is best utilized by an owner, an equipment manager, or fleet manager. This is where the security system feature can be activated for the machine. Once activated, a valid 4, 5, or 6-digit passcode will have to be entered before the machine can start. The security feature can only be deactivated by your CAT dealer. Activating the system is easy. Simply scroll to the Enable Security selection and depress the Enter button. Once the Enter button is depressed, you will be asked to confirm if you indeed want to enable the security system. After confirmation, you will be reminded that the default user code will be 1111 at the next key cycle. With the security system enabled, a valid passcode will be required. We're going to enter the default master code 1111 and then depress Enter. When we depress the Enter button, it recognizes us as having entered the master code, which will enable some extra functionality and monitoring that is not available if you enter only an operator code. The master code should be changed to a unique but memorable 4, 5, or 6-digit code that the operator desires. We'll show you how to do that in a few moments. First, we'll want to revisit the Display Settings menu. Here we'll be able to adjust many of the settings that we showed you previously to match the master code holder's preference. In this case, we might want to change the background color to any of the selections that we showed you previously. We'll also want to scroll down and find a parameter that was not previously visible to us because the security system was not enabled. This would be the grace period selection. This is the amount of time once the key switch is turned off that will elapse before the security system automatically reactivates. The choices are 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hours, with 30 minutes that is shown here being the factory default. If at any time during the grace period the machine is restarted, the grace period timer is reset and begins counting again for the selected grace period. The operator can also choose to activate the security system immediately by selecting the button below the green check mark when prompted at the security system lockout screen that appears when the key switch is moved to the off position. Making no selection or selecting the red X will start the timer for the grace period you have chosen. Now let's update the master code. The master code change can be made in the user management screen. By depressing the button below the worker icon with the eye, this shows the current values. You can see the master code name, which can be edited, the code that is currently listed for the master code holder, machine hours that have been used, fuel that has been used, any events or diagnostics that were recorded while the master code holder was logged in, and you can reset those values as well. So if I wanted to edit the master code name, I could do so here. If I wanted to edit the master code values, I would depress the button below the pencil and do that here. You can also add users to the machine configuration list. In this case, we'll go below the construction worker with the plus sign and we'll enter a new name. We're going to enter JP. We're going to assign JP a code. In this case, we'll pick 1, 3, 5, 7. And then confirm. If I wanted to add additional users, I could do similarly by pressing again the construction worker with the plus sign. I have the capability of adding 49 additional users in addition to the master code holder. If at any time an operator, say JP, leaves our employment, you could simply locate the icon with the X symbol, and then you can remove them from the capability of using this machine. You can easily remove his profile and his code so that he can no longer start this machine. Are you sure you want to remove JP? Yes. His profile and user code no longer appear in the menu, and he will no longer be able to start this machine by entering that user code. For users who do remain with the company, the master code holder can easily monitor the accumulated hours for each operator, accumulated fuel usage for each operator, and see any event or diagnostic codes that may have occurred while the particular operator was logged in and using the machine by simply locating the worker icon with the I and depressing the button below. If you don't have multiple operators, you could use this system in a different manner. Instead of user codes, you could assign different codes to different attachments. As an example, we could add a broom. And we'll assign a code to the broom. As an example, we'll select 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. This would allow you to track the hours and fuel burn accrued while you're using a certain work tool attachment. If you are using the broom on a regular basis, we could again go into that selection and check on the broom. You would be able to see the machine hours accrued and the fuel usage accrued while you are using the attachment. If you wanted to reset any of these values, you could do so here with the reset button. This is just another way to help you manage your business more effectively so that you are monitoring your cost and charging appropriately for a particular job. You can also use it for maintenance so that you know when to check the bristles on your broom, for example, in order to keep your broom in optimal working order. You can see the many ways you can take advantage of the Advanced Display Monitor, as it allows you to better utilize your equipment, manage your workforce, your work tools, and to monitor your owning and operating cost. Experience for yourself all the Advanced Display Monitor has to offer by contacting your local CAT dealer today.